How's it going, Talk Forest TV? My name is Jack, and welcome to my preview for Nottingham Forest versus Bristol City, taking place at the City Ground tomorrow. So Bristol City currently find themselves, six places behind us, 8 points behind us, and they have actually played 2 extra games than us. So they are sort of in a similar position to where we were last year. I know they had a big spell early on in the season where they did go so long. I think it might have even been almost a year, if not a year, where they didn't win a single game at home. So, I think they're not having the best of seasons. They're picking things up a little bit. They're a bit inconsistent. Had a big one, 2-1 win against Middlesbrough recently, and they kind of sort of win a game, lose a game, win a game, lose a game. That kind of pattern at the moment, and they've got some players who are doing all right. To be honest with you, Anton Semewo, he's someone that's been. I've seen his name sort of hitting the headlines a little bit in the Championship of late. People saying that he's playing quite well, so we'll have to keep our eye out on him. They've got a decent side, Bristol City, but they're not really in any danger of looking up to the playoffs. I think for them it's just sort of securing themselves in the Championship for another season. I don't think they've actually ever been in the Premiership, so for them that'll be a huge step if they can do that. But I think for them just needing to make sure they cement their season, the next season in the Championship. For them, I think that's sort of their aim at the moment. Maybe a chance of an outside playoff push, but I don't really see that happening. They will have to go on an amazing run, and kind of a miracle would need to occur for that to happen. I think for us, off the back of that 0-0 draw in midweek, I think, wasn't the best of games. Somehow 3 Preston players got in the midweek Championship Team of the Week for some reason. I have no idea how they managed it, because neither side were particularly good. They were the better team, don't get me wrong, but neither side really showed that they were, that great. They obviously did what they needed to do to get there. I'm feeling confident about this one. I think we might get back to winning ways. Obviously, it was the first game in 10 days on Tuesday night, so we were a bit rusty, lacking a little bit of sharpness. So hopefully from that game on Tuesday night, we're able to recuperate a bit of energy and look forward and go again. I think I'm looking at it as kind of like a 2-0 kind of result, one where we, maybe get one late first half and maybe midway through the second half, something like that. Maybe reminiscent of sort of Hull at home, that kind of thing. I do feel like we will get back to winning ways, and it's a must-win. This game, it's a huge game. Really thinking about it, if we want to be serious about getting the playoffs, it's massive. We need to try and get all 3 points here, because we are sort of dropping a little bit away from the playoffs, even though we do have sort of a game against Bournemouth coming up, and a sort of a rearranged fixture from that one on a week ago today that would have been played if it wasn't for structural issues with the stadium, which I still think is a little bit waffle. But what I'm saying. That game was obviously postponed. So we do have that one in hand on some of the teams around us, but we need to really keep winning games. And in our position, we kind of need to go on a bit like an Aston Villa run. Maybe I think they won something like 10 games on the spin. Maybe it doesn't have to be as as big as that. We don't have to win 10 games on a bounce, but we need to start winning games and building up momentum and beating those teams around us. I know, so we've got QPR, Sheffield United. I think Sheffield United's coming up next week. I think that's our next game after Bristol City. I think it's a Friday night kickoff. We've got teams above us coming up. Sort of Fulham. I know they're way above us. They're sort of almost Premier League already. But we've got Bournemouth to come. We've got QPR to come. Sheffield United to come. Also West Brom at home to come. So there are teams in and around our area and where we want to be that we have got left to play. So we'll beat them and we could really be where we need to be. But I think in terms of sort of confidence, keeping things going, looking to build in a positive way, a win tomorrow will be massive in regards to that, searching for that win, helping us to sort of keep the positive mentality going, the positive attitude, that winning feeling back at the club. It's going to be a packed out City Ground again. So in terms of the fans in the stands, it's going to be an absolutely mega atmosphere. We're going to be roaring on every single player that's out there for us, and hopefully we can push them on to victory. I think in terms of the lineup, I think it'll be a little bit different from the Sheffield from the Preston game in midweek. I think we kind of played a bit like it was kind of a 5-2-1-2, and it didn't quite work with Johnson alongside Davis, Garner in behind, and then Yates and Colback behind them. I think we need that sort of width up front where we have sort of a Davis in the middle, then a Zinkernagel and Johnson either side. I just think it offers a little bit more going forward. I think Garner might have been a little bit, I don't know, he wasn't bad. He got forward once or twice, but I prefer him in the midfield alongside either Yates or Colback, and two wingers alongside Davis up front. I think it provides us a little bit more of a base to work off up front. With three players there, it helps us to be a bit more attacking and have a bit more options going forward rather than kind of just one or two. And Johnson was kept very quiet along with Spence against Preston, so they definitely did their homework in that respect. But I think for me, I definitely prefer a three-pronged attack, two in the middle, and obviously the five at the back, with the wing-backs obviously pushing on high to create that width and add a bit of overload on the flanks in a way. But sorry about that. But I think for me, obviously it'll be Horvath in goal. I think the back five will probably be the same as the one that we saw against Preston. Spence low on the wing-back roles, and then Wirral, McKenna, and Cook in the back three. For me, I'd go with Yates and Garner in the middle. I think that's, for me, what we should be looking to do. Get those two in the midfield, one a bit more creative than the other, one a bit more dogged, I guess you could say, a bit more, he likes to get into the tackle. But again, both can do the other job as well. So I think for me, Garner and Yates in the midfield, for me, I think that is what I'd like to see. I think that's what works well for us. And in the front three of Davis in the middle, Johnson on the right, and probably Zinkernagel on the left, maybe Mighton, depending on how fit he is. Maybe Lolly even if he's match fit. But I think that front three is absolutely dangerous and on form. It'll take some of the best defences to stop them. Arsenal couldn't stop them. Leicester couldn't stop them. So I think, with that three up front, I think that's the best way going forward for us. But yeah, I'm really interested to see how this one pans out. I do think it'll be 2-0. If I had to go with scorers, I'd probably go with Zinkernagel and Davis. But again, not really too fussed who scores the goal, as long as we do win the game. So yeah, big game this one tomorrow for us. I think it's really important that we go out there and get all 3 points, keep the positivity going, get that winning mentality back within the squad, back within the club, and hopefully we can push forward and keep this going. So if you did enjoy this video, smash the like button down below, subscribe if you haven't already, let us know in the comments what you think the score will be, who you think will start, what formation we should go, that sort of thing, and come on you Reds.